and welcome back. It's Friday evening and this is what Mrs. P has got for her tea. This is actually a freezing meal. It's one that I've made myself out of my freezer. So I've got mashed potatoes, chicken, stuffing, carrots, Brussels and cauliflower, and I've got some really nice, made in a cup, very classy, thick gravy. I'm just going to pop on it. Oh, lovely. Some nice thick gravy. And that is what Mrs. P has got for her tea on a Friday. And there we go. Toad in the hole, new potatoes and peas. And that's what Mrs. P has got for her tea on a Sunday. What do you think? A British favourite, nothing fancy. Lovely. So, toad in the hole, Jersey Royals and peas, and I've got some right thick gravy. Lovely. Thank you very much for joining me today. Welcome to Monday evening in Mrs. P's household, and this is what I'm having for my tea this evening. Trying to empty out my freezer, and the corned beef was in my freezer. So we've got corned beef, chips and beans. Childhood favourite of mine definitely, but these aren't proper chips. Not that these were done in the air fryer, but I think they've come out quite nicely. I think they look quite good. So yeah, so for Mrs. P, for her tea, we've got corned beef, chips and beans on a Monday evening. Lovely. Welcome to Tuesday evening, and Mrs. P has got homemade soup for her tea this evening from the freezer. As I said before, I'm trying to clear the freezer before we go to Costco next week. So Mrs. P has got for her tea homemade soup this evening. I'm going to have some strawberries and ice cream for afters, and I'll have maybe some bread with my soup. So that's lovely, and that's what Mrs. P has got for her tea on Tuesday. And welcome back. Here we are on a Wednesday, and what Mrs. P has got for her tea is chili con carne and rice. A little bit that was in the freezer, trying to work my way through the freezer, so that's what Mrs. P has got for her tea on a Wednesday. And here we are on a Thursday evening, and what Mrs. P has got for her tea is chicken tikka with rice. This is from the £20 shop from Aldi, and this is one of the portions of the chicken tikka, so that's still feeding us some 4 weeks later. So that's what Mrs. P has got for her tea on a Thursday.